Okay, just a quick intro. I'm going to get stuck in tonight to the wiring of this Oakcaster number 11, and this is my own sort of prototype guitar that I'm keeping for myself. Unless somebody twists my arm and wants it really badly, but I figured it's something that's probably more suitable for me to keep. It had a few mistakes along the way and stuff like that, so it's certainly not perfect, but when it comes down to it, it's going to play perfectly well because it's fixed. Everything that's gone wrong has been put right, shall we say, but it shows some signs of it not being right the first time around. Now at the moment I'm waiting for, what am I waiting for? I'm waiting for a bridge. I need a black bridge for this. I got sent the wrong one by a supplier, which was a bit annoying because it's now knocked out the whole weekend and I can't finish this. But what I can do today is I can wire in the electrics and get everything ready, and then all I'm left to do is the bridge. And likewise with this, it was slightly about 1.5 millimeters in the wrong position, so I've repositioned, I've filled these holes and repositioned them. And note to myself, I have to find a way of making sure this is dead on the first time, because it isn't the first time I've had to do that, which is not great. But apart from that, it's going to play really well. And what I've got for it is a couple of things. I've bought an iron gear steam hammer, which is a pretty high output pickup, and that's going to be the bridge position there. And what I'm toying with is I've got a couple of options for the neck, and I'm not sure exactly what the diameters. I'm not sure. I've got an Epiphone one here, which again would sort of look the part because it's a black open-faced thing. And it's not a bad looking pickup. We'll have rosewood surrounds for that, so two of those would work. But I've also got, left over from a Marlin, this interesting old, if I can get it open, this interesting old, I think it's a bridge, but yeah, it's a bridge pickup from an HSS strap, but it's just kind of, it's a really interesting old looking thing, and I wouldn't mind trying that out and see what it just sounds like in the neck position. Bearing in mind I can always switch it out for something else if I don't like it. So I just think, stylistically it's a bit unusual. So we'll go with a steam hammer, new steam hammer in the bridge, and try out this this twin rail thing, just because of the look, frankly. And I'm not precious. I don't mind if it works and it performs okay. I don't really mind if it's a bridge instead of a neck. I mean, it's going to be, even if it's slightly higher output, the output on this thing here is going to be pretty big. Now I've got a wiring diagram that's quite complex, which I'm going to have to get myself acquainted with. And what I'm going to have in here is a couple of push-pull coil switch or tapping affairs. And I was toying with the idea of would I have a tone or not, and I could have a tone. I'd need to drill another hole for a tone. I think there's room. There is room for a tone in there. I wasn't too sure whether I wanted one or not. Just make it a bit crowded there. And actually, I'm just gonna go ahead as I've drilled it, which is for the push-pull splitter coil splits for these two things, and they're both 4-wire. Well, this is a 5-wire and this is a 4-wire, so they should, all said and done, should work. Now this one needs a bit of extra wire added in because there's no way it's going to get, I'm going to have to extend the wires, it's not going to get down to the bridge. Alternatively, I could use this one, but I think also I've got this down as a neck pickup. It's maybe just about, would just about do it, wire-wise. So that's probably makes more sense in terms of wiring. But if let's see what it feels like. I just like the look of this thing. I'll do a little test as well to see what the rating of it is. In fact, this is a 5. It's 4 and some bare wire, and we've got the little on micro switch here for the 3-way position, and that's the not tricky bit, but that's the bit that's non-standard compared to all these diagrams. So the final kind of wire up and play off is going to have to wait till early in the week sometime, but there's no reason why not to just get on now and do the hardware. By the same token, we might as well take off the neck because it's just going to not be needed. And you can see, hopefully, give you a nice close-up of how straightforward these necks are. I think I've settled on a 2-bolt affair for my future Oakcaster single and double cut. As you can see, just these big hex bolts, they just come off really chunky style. This one comes with the washers, and this one leaves them in there. But that's it, that's as complicated as it gets. And then we just pull it off like that, and it's a nice snug fit, so there's no risk of it going anywhere or moving. So there we have it, simple removal. And you can see I've used washers on here to pad it out to get the exact depth I wanted for the fixing. It's 30, and I'm using 30mm M8 plugs. But the nice thing is, you know, that would then basically go in your luggage, or go in my luggage, like that, with maybe bubble wrap or a towel around it, whatever. Hardware all in place. Put it back together again. 2 cranks with the old Allen key. New set of strings on, and adjust the bridge to whatever height I want. And the neck, because of the fitting now, that neck with the Allen screws will go straight back into the correct position with no messing about. So I'm going to save you from the hell of watching me mess about with wiring on this in this case. I'm just going to get on with this with the radio on and brain off, and I shall see you again a bit later on when we're nearer finished. In fact, I'll probably come back once the electrics are done, but also when we're ready to put the bridge on and get going with the final tweaks, the sort of setting up with strings and any fret leveling that we might need to do. I'm not sure we will, but just in case. So there we go. See you in a bit.